Hello and good morning. Welcome to Talking Season 2, Episode 2. There's myself, Stuart, my colleague Amin, and our very special guest today. I'm sure all of you in our industry know her, but if you don't, it's Deb's, the head of operations from the Freelancer and Contractor Services Association, the FCSA. I'm glad we just say FCSA.
Me
I'm not
too.
having to come out with that all the time. So how are you, Debs?
Well, thank you. And yourselves?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I was going to say, how is 2026 going? Because obviously we're in the last week.
Um, can I start just by saying cold? Is that a suitable answer? Good, busy. Um, I unstructured. I have a plan, and then
Unstructured.
my plan's gone out the window.
I was going to say because one thing you're usually pretty big on structure, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, that's not happened. First week was wonderful. Last 2 weeks, not so much.
Right. Okay. No problem. Well, we'll move on, and obviously we're far too far in the year to be going on Happy New Year, etc. So we're not going to do any of that.
No.
So, I mean,
I'm going to start off with quite a juicy one, to be honest, because there has been a lot of discussions suggesting that after April 2026, there's going to be no need for payslip checkers. We disagree with this, obviously. Can you explain why this statement is incorrect?
That there's no need for payslip checkers. I think I agree with the position that you've taken. That I don't think that statement is right.
No.
As with anything you do, the more times it can be checked by different people, the better it is. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't somebody want an extra layer of compliance, an extra set of eyes? Um, as we move into the world of JSL post April, transparency it's got to be a foundational point of any business. Where historically this industry is hidden behind smoke and mirrors and borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. All of that has to be stripped away. I think I'm quite fortunate, obviously, to work on the compliance side of the market. But I don't. I haven't heard anything regarding payslip checking not being a requirement. Um, I think he's an extra tool in a toolkit. I don't think it should be the only thing.
Right.
Categorically, not the only thing. I think having it as an added check and not just relying on that, having it as part of a series of, you're looking at balance sheets, you're looking at the trading history, we're looking at the directors, looking at where else is the risk. Who are they being checked by? So obviously, FCSA use external assessors. It's an extra set of eyes looking at different things. Obviously, we publish our code so people can see what FCSA check against. That's one part of the puzzle. The payslip checking is another part, but they're all tools to use
Yeah.
as part to form a bigger picture.
I
No,
think as well
definitely.
as
I
that,
think
Deb,
that's.
the
I was gonna-
technology's there, so why not use it? You know,
Yeah, I think technology should improve as well as we move. There is definitely a missing piece, isn't there, with HMRCs, the open banking and what that might look like. Um, I think, yeah, technology is AI, everything else. I mean, I'm not a tech whiz in any which way. I'm probably the complete opposite of that. Um, but it has its place.
yeah.
And very quickly being able to add up, which is what the payslip checking is doing. Um, it brings an extra layer of, it's an extra peace of mind to not only the agencies and the end clients, but the workers as well, that they know that they're working with companies that aren't ripping them off.
No, definitely. And I think that's probably what I think that's a bit exciting about the Very Pay partnership with you guys as well, because that's going to obviously provide that level of service as well, and that extra, as you just said, that extra tool in the kit, really, which I think is going to be crucial come post April, because people need to make sure they are working with the right people in the industry, because if not, the punishments could be catastrophic.
Massively, I think it picks up. Obviously, for a compliant company, you'd hope it isn't going to find anything, but it's there to improve it. It's not a stick to beat anybody with. It's a way to improve outcomes and just kind of sense check, make sure things are going on. So when an I increases, has it been input at the right time? Has anything been missed? It's that just the second set of eyes, isn't it? And why would that be a bad thing?
No, definitely not.
Definitely, yeah. So obviously, Debs, the big buzzwords that we're all talking about this year and have been for quite some time has been the JSL, joint and several liabilities. What's the FCSA and your current perspective on how this is actually going to impact the market?
I would love to say it's business as usual. I'd love to say that. It should be. It should be that. I know it's quite funny because even that sentence, BAU, we are an industry that talk in acronyms and letters, and so when you have any conversation with anybody outside of industry, I don't know if you do it, you catch myself. I say the letters and then actually have to explain what they are. I think the impact, we're starting to see moves. We're starting to see agencies condense PSLs. Whether that's the right or wrong thing, I'm not overly sure. Condensing it too far is a little bit of putting all your eggs in one basket. But on the flip side, the ideal position for any umbrella would be that unicorn deal where they've got sole supply.
Yeah.
So every umbrella company will be wanting to strive for that, to have the smallest amount of companies on that PSL.
Yeah.
And quite rightly, I completely understand that. But the flip, I think an agency or an end client need to marry up the risk with that of reducing it too much. I would hope we don't see too much too many changes. And the agencies are looking at a holistic view of what good looks like, rather than just pinpointing in on a few. Because ultimately there needs to be choice in the industry. As soon as we take away choice, prices change, and people can command a market. So I think everybody has to be given choice, and ultimately a worker needs choice. It's their employer.
Yeah.
They're all going to offer different benefits. There's going to be different costs. Margins are different. They may have different benefits. I've just said that. So, yeah, I think we are seeing some move, and certainly the umbrella companies I've been speaking with have said it is already busier.
Yeah.
That could be, hesitant to say it, but is it that agencies are moving away from non-compliant providers and moving them to the compliant providers? And that is, that is the right thing to do. That's what the legislation, the rules were intended to bring in, that the industry will start self-policing, because agencies won't want to be on the hook. Is that similar to what you've seen, or?
I think some of the bigger brollies out there, they're definitely, I was having one conversation, and the amount of credits searches that we're having to do for some agencies was just phenomenal from what they've said. We're still not seeing new umbrellas, but why would you start a new umbrella at this current moment in time? I think.
No, and I also, devil's advocate, I have also seen some of the medium-sized, smaller umbrellas now really struggling, because agencies unfortunately don't want to work with them as much as they used to, because they want to work with the bigger agencies, the agencies with the bigger financial proof, shall we say?
Safety net,
money in the bank. Yeah, so that's something I've seen, which is not nice, because obviously an agency's like, well, we don't want to work with you unless you've got £1 million cash in your bank.
It is. It's going to be tough for some. It really is. I think there's been a little bit of movement, like amalgamations with smaller umbrellas, kind of creating a bigger group. And ultimately, that is to do exactly what you've said there, to try and head off that argument that they are big enough to play in that market.
Yeah.
I think, customer service has got to come down to it. But equally, I understand agencies' position where they are looking at, how long has a business been trading? So I think going to Stuart, where you've just said we're not seeing really many new umbrellas setting up now. Would an agency start working with an umbrella that has got no trading history? They can't prove
Unless you
how
know
they work.
unless you know the directors, unless they've got relationships in the past, and they obviously there's a trust built on previous trading. I think otherwise it's really tough for an umbrella. And I also think I'm always devil's advocate. From what I've also seen though is obviously some agencies now demanding things like 30 days credit plan, 6 weeks credit plans. I also think that's a big risk for the umbrella as well, because I'm going to put it out there. Agencies on not all of them. I'm not going to pair out the same, but some agencies on the best extra either. So then you're now trusting them to be able to pay off your invoice 6 weeks into it.
It's a
already then
huge
paid
risk.
off the revenue.
It is probably the biggest risk. And a lot of the time that credit is uninsurable, because the agency may not have, the stability themselves. And I think you've mentioned 30 and 60. We've had 90-day. We see 90-day requests. There's certain industries that are worse than others. But I think umbrellas need to be very careful about promising the world. And ultimately, you use it, even promising that they will, yes, we will sign up with them and we'll offer X amount on this, on these credit terms, and then thinking they can potentially roll it back further on in the relationship. But equally, the agency may be thinking, well, we'll agree 30, but realistically we want 90 or 60. So, they're both going to be trying to vie for that sweet spot. It is a risk. There's no way around that. Credit terms are a risk. The umbrella has to pay out to the worker. Conduct regs state that. Well, the agency needs to pay out as well. But as we move into the new world with the Employment Rights Bill, that potentially will change for umbrellas. Obviously, we're waiting on the consultation.
Yeah.
But the conduct regs potentially is going to change for umbrellas as well, which puts the credit side a little bit more in jeopardy.
So do you actually think from your conversations that you're having with not only umbrella companies, devs, but also recruitment agencies, are they genuinely prepared for these changes, do you think? Or are they still...
I think it's a mix. I think it's a mix. I think there are some... I can only speak for FCSA umbrellas.
Yeah.
I'm quietly confident FCSA umbrellas are ready, know what's coming, have upskilled the staff, are prepared, scalability, etc. We have put on a lot of training, done a lot of webinars, handouts, etc. for our members, and supported them equally with their agencies, to try and educate wherever, so their agencies equally should be, prepared. There is an entire part of the market that will not know this is coming, and it's probably the same part of the market that doesn't do kids or doesn't fully do AWR. That's always going to happen.
Yeah.
But we will continue to, help and educate and train where we can, and support our members and our recruiter partners. They're the agencies that work only with FCSA members. So I think there is a mix, and I think the agencies who aren't aware that this is coming and aren't prepared will be the ones that will continue working as they were before. So they won't really know until HMRC comes knocking that there's a problem.
Yeah. And do you think after obviously JSL and the Employment's Right Bill, do you think there's any chance that our industry would actually get left alone for a little bit? Because there's always, I've been in the industry.
You're touching wood as you're saying that.
I've been in the industry 9.5 years, and there's always been something.
Yeah.
I've got about 4 years left that I want to work before retiring, Debs. Just a nice, quiet 4 years, see me out.
Oh, yeah, we've got at least two things could happen in that time, easy.
Probably 6 NI changes.
Yeah. I'll say I had a full head of hair when I started in this industry. I've now got no hair and about 3 extra chins. But
I don't.
You need to stop dining out with clients then.
I don't think it will go quiet because nothing ever stops still, and it shouldn't stop still.
Yeah.
We should always be looking to improve. Whether we agree with how they're improving things or not is a different matter entirely.
Yeah.
But the industry shouldn't sit still.
No.
It's agile. The entire workforce is agile, so I think it's got to stay with the times with that.
Good answer. Good answer.
I agree. So this brings us to one of our new segments of our Talkins for this year, and I think it's one of my favourite things we're still doing. So for some reason, Deb, you're on death row. I'm sorry. You are given your death row meal. You can have 3 courses. Go.
Oh my God! Right, okay, that's a wonderfully macabre question. 3 courses. I only need what? Just tater ash. My granddad's tater ash.
A proper one.
Yeah, a proper one with pickled beetroot, not cabbage. Pudding tiramisu. Starter. Really bothered.
So we went from
I've got
Lancashire.
two portions of tater ash, I think.
Yeah. The tater ash, definitely Lancashire.
Yeah.
The tiramisu, a little bit more continental, shall we say.
I don't even know why I said that. Yeah, okay. That apparently
I don't even
that.
know what it is.
But
Well,
definitely my granddad's
nice.
tater ash.
Brilliant.
However, a drink, tea, Maria and Coke, just for the sweet tooth side of it.
Oh.
What about yours? What would be your last drink if you could have one?
I would have a banana milkshake with vanilla infused saffron ice cream as a floor.
Wow. I'm going to tell you a tale now this weekend. My wife was so disappointed in me. I said, "Oh, do you want to go for a coffee, love?" So I took her to the Starbucks. Do you know what I got from Starbucks? An Earl Grey
I don't
cup of tea.
Oh god.
Yeah. Well, that's not me. I think mine would have to be a Guinness. It'd have to be a pint of Guinness, I think.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice way to go. Never mind your banana milkshake with everything else, just a pint of Guinness.
I think you lost me at the saffron ice cream.
It's so nice. But it's like Persian. It's got pistachio and stuff in it. You would like it. I'd recommend.
Okay.
Brilliant.
I will look out for it.
It'll go right well with Tatty Ash.
I was thinking.
I don't even know what Tati Ash is.
Oh, mate. I'm going to say it's a northern thing, but you're more north than us. Maybe it's a northwestern thing.
Yeah. Potatoes and meat and carrots and onion and gravy.
A bit like a
Like a
stew,
mince and
but better
dumpling.
than a stew.
Is that a bit like a minced dumpling?
No.
The minced dumpling's got the potato on the top, isn't it? No,
You're going to have to Google it, mate. You have to Google it.
I'll dig out a recipe and send it over.
Please do. Please do.
Brilliant.
We are quite adventurous in this house. We made homemade doner kebabs on Saturday. It was good.
Okay. Excellent.
Well,
Applaud the effort on that one.
On that bombshell.
On that bombshell, I might get sued for saying on that bombshell. On that bombshell, thank you so much for joining us today, Debs. We wanted to ask you them questions because we obviously wanted to get insight into what you think. And I think we agree on what you're saying, to be honest. I think the industry should be business as usual because the people should be doing what we're doing already, doing it the right way, and just continue to do that. And if that's the case, then I don't think anything should be changing. It's great to hear that obviously FCSA and the FCSA umbrellas already, because that's obviously straight away a great sign for our industry. And here's to hoping nothing new or gets thrown into the works.
No curveballs.
So on that, thank you so much. And
Thank
it's
you
been
for
a
having
pleasure.
me.
Yeah, great to see you,
Thank
Debs.
Right, take
See you
care. Bob.
soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.